New Star Trek action figures are here. This is Wave 1 of the Nacelle Company's new Star Trek figure line, featuring an interesting lineup of characters. Now, we are splitting this review into two parts. Here in part 1, we're focusing on the captains, this being Captains Jellico, Sulu, and Garrett. Check back for part 2, which will feature Tuvix, Valkyris, Wayun, Peter Preston, and Mirror Universe Archer. A big thank you to the Nacelle Company and its CEO, Brian Volk-weiss, for sending these figures over. To make life easy for our UK and EU Star Trek collectors, yes, you, Trek Central's partner website, The Cargo Bay, is now stocking Wave 1 of the Nacelle Star Trek action figure line, making it easier for you to get your hands on them. Simply click the link below. If you're in the USA, it's easy to shop directly from the Nacelle Company to get better shipping prices. Oh, and while you're watching this review, let us know in the comment section which action figure you're looking forward to, or maybe you've already got the one you wanted, or maybe you're after a particular one. Comment down below, we'd love to know your thoughts on these figures. Okay, let's make it so. Okay everyone, let's take a look at the Nacelle Star Trek figures. Up first, we've got figure 001, which is Captain Edward Jellico. I was really excited for this one. I don't think we've had a proper good figure of Jellico before. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but this one looks fantastic. So I'm going to place it down here in my little review area, so you should be able to see in this camera angle what I am looking at. So this is the Jellico figure. First, can I just say, before we dive into this, and I kind of want to focus on this, the packaging of these Nacelle figures is absolutely really nice. One detail I really like is if we turn it on its side, you've actually got the character here. I think it's better on this side here with the sort of angle going along there, is you can basically see Captain Jellico and Nacelle toys, meaning when you put these figures together, say like how they're on my shelf over there, I can see Tuvix, Garrett, Archer, Peter Preston all lined up, and then you put Jellico next to it. The box is a nice display item as well, and I kind of really like that. I think packaging where it's a bit more unique and looks really good on your shelves is actually really cool. Typically, when we get collectibles, we do just throw packaging away, but Nacelle have really thought about it. You've got the big Star Trek logo here, character name, the show they're from. Beautiful. I actually really like that. So 10 out of 10 Nacelle on packaging. I know it's a bit of an odd one to talk about, but I know a lot of collectors do care about it. So yeah, okay. Let's actually unbox the figure and take a look at what we've got. I do believe we've got some tape on this figure, so I may have to break into it somehow. So I think if we cut through here, we might be able to just a little bit get into it. I'm going to cut it. Some people are like, no, you should remove the sticker. But I'm going to cut into it, you know. I like to think that I may have done it. There is another sort of seal there, but I'm not sure why there's a seal there. Can we open the box like this? We may have to cut something else. I may have to cut the other sticker. That's fine. All right, let's break into this one. So this is our first figure from Nacelle's collection. Let's take a look. So we're going to slide Jellico out of the box. Put the box over here just so we've got that. I'm going to keep the packaging for these because, again, the packaging looks really, really cool. Right, so we've got quite a few accessories in Jellico's one here. So it comes in a nice, sturdy, secure packaging. It's plastic. It is what it is. A lot of action figures like Hasbro's Black Series come in these. So it's pretty standard. I think we might have some tape, is it? Do we have tape? Nope, he's just stuck in there really good. All right. Right, we'll get rid of that packaging of that. Actually, I'll just put it all on the same box because else I'm going to lose it all. We've also got our first little accessories here. Cardassian Customs and Etiquette, Jellico's kids' paintings, the phasers, and a pad as well. We've actually got like a TNG pad. That's really cool. Put that there in a second. Of course, the big element of this figure is the fish tank. The Enterprise D fish tank. It looks amazing. While we're doing this review, I will splice in some extra footage and such because you're going to want to see it. Okay, I actually forgot to talk about the fish tank. Here's a good view of a model. Of course, this is the fish tank that Jellico nastily threw out of Captain Picard's ready room. You can actually see one of the fish in it. It's still a kind of nice, cool object to get with the action figure. Yeah, not much else to say. It's a fish tank. But on the plus side, if you have an old Picard figure, you can now use that with the fish tank. So that's kind of cool. These Nacelle figures and their accessories have multiple uses. Maybe in the near future, when we get a Picard figure, and I think there is one coming, he can have a new fish tank. So that's pretty cool. All right, we'll put the fish tank here for a second. We've also got a selection of hands for Jellico, but we should just be able to take the figure and lift him up by his arm. And we'll put that box there for a second. And here we actually have Captain Edward Jellico. And he looks pretty cool. The figure's slight size, is actually really cool. There you go. There's him next to a fish tank. Fish tank is, kind of chest level, I guess. We can see the fish in there. Oh, I'll put some close-up angles of this on screen. You can see the fish in the tank. That's actually really cool. All right, we'll put that there for a second. We can stand Jellico up. He's also got holes for his feet as well. So whether he can stand on like some stands later on, I'm not entirely sure. But you can articulate the arms, sort of bend knees. There we go. Stand him up there. The legs do split apart a little bit. Like, I didn't think they were like fully articulating like that. I'm not sure what you're going to do with your action figure. This now looks a little bit dodgy, doesn't it? Anyway, I guess it means you can like sit them in chairs if you needed to. So like, sort of like that. You can bend the legs. Now you can sort of sit in a captain's chair. If only we had an Enterprise D captain's chair. Brian, I know you're probably watching this. It's Brian Volk-weiss, CEO of the Nacelle Company. Enterprise D captain's chair. That we need. I would absolutely love to see that. But detailing on this figure is really, really nice. Like the paintwork on the eyes and just the face. And you obviously got the 4 pips there for the captain's rank. The arm detailing as well, really nice. It captures the next-gen uniform really, really well, which I am a big fan of. When it comes to customizations and accessories, we've got different types of hands and such. One of these will probably be for the phaser. So I'm not too experienced on how you bring out the hands. So if can we just pull these out? A bit of strength, maybe? I don't want to break it, but maybe that doesn't come out. Okay. I don't want to like pull it too much because what if I break it? That would be a bit awkward. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got one hand out. Let's put the other hand in. We'll put this one in. This might be his phaser one. There we go. I didn't want to break his finger there. Breaking Jellico's finger probably wouldn't go very well. Right, so we stand him up like that. Sort of articulate him a little bit. And now we can actually take it up. I've just dropped everything everywhere. Brilliant. That's nice. So I can just shoot with accessories now. We've got basically a Cardassian's Customs and Etiquette sort of book, which looks really, really nice. So Jellico could have that. He's also got a pad, which I can't pick up off my desk. A typical Next Generation era pad, which looks really, really cool. That's fun. We've also got his kids' paintings. These are stuck together. They're not separate. I don't want to pry those apart because I think they're not painted underneath. But it's kids' paintings, so you can have them on display somewhere. Then we also have got a Next Generation phaser. This looks really, really cool. If I put it in my hand there, you can see how small it is. It looks really fun. I'm not sure if this fits in his hand like this. I don't know how it fits in. Maybe it won't fit in one of his hands. I thought it might have fitted in this hand. Fitted in this hand? There you go. I guess that kind of works. We bend his hand like that and twist it. He's got a phaser in the hand now. It might not be the right hand for it, but you have a couple of different hands you can put sort of things in. Obviously, all of these, you can grab certain things. That one might be the phaser there. Who knows? Either way, Jellico now has a phaser. And he looks pretty cool. I actually quite like that. That's fun. Yeah. Nice. You could also probably make him carry the book as well. I'm not sure if this will fit in a hand. You can probably definitely make him have other accessories in there. Like quite easily, the pad could fit in one of these. That's probably going to fall out. But it's probably a tighter one you can put the sort of pad in and make him sort of carry. Or you could sort of have him holding there. You can probably... Oop, the legs are going to go away. You could definitely make him sort of hold it like that. And... maybe not. Okay, maybe I'll give up on this one. But it's definitely one of these where the pad will sort of fit into it. There you go. Jellico can have a pad. It's definitely going to fall out as soon as I move it. The pad actually has nice detailing on it. Like, it's got the next-gen detailing, which is really, really cool. All right, I'm going to put him here for a second. Like, the figure does fully articulate, so obviously we can just spin the arms around like that. There you go. Obviously, he can do a complete sort of Mexican wave style thing, which is really, really nice. The legs also fully articulate as well, so you can have Jellico in sort of death pose. You know, when Riker is sick of his stuff anymore, he shot Jellico and game over. But, you know, really cool figure. He doesn't have a changeable head. Some of these figures we'll review later on do have customizable heads. I'm not sure if you can take his head off. I don't want to because I don't break it if it doesn't meant to come off. But you put Tuvik's head on this if you really want to. But I have seen people customizing their Nacelle figures with different sort of style things, which is really cool. Number 2 is really cool. Let's move on to that one. This has been Captain Edward Jellico. He looks really cool. Like, just on the camera alone, like the quality looks really, really nice. Okay, we're back with number 2 in our figure review for Nacelle. This is Captain Rachel Garrett, 002. Of course, from arguably one of the best Star Trek episodes ever made, Yesterday's Enterprise. It might be one of my favorite. I know it's Brian's favorite, or one of his favorites as well. I love the line at the end. You all know the line. It's, let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Arguably one of the best lines ever said in Star Trek. And yes, let's make sure history does never forget the name Enterprise. This is Captain Rachel Garrett. This is a figure I've been very much looking forward to as well. She comes with a ton of accessories, as you can see in my top-down angle right now. We've got an actual another head for her. This is Garrett's death head, I guess. We've also got not only a sort of 23rd century phaser, but a 24th century phaser as well. a pad for data on the Klingon Federation War, I believe, and also a communicator from the 23rd century, fitting into the 24th century. A couple of hands as well. Let's unbox this figure and take a look. Like the previous Jellico figure, Garrett has also got artwork for herself on the box here as well, on both sides. So again, if you do want to display the packaging after you've unboxed the figure, or maybe you won't be unboxing it at all, you can, because it looks amazing. On the back here, we've also got the entirety of Wave 1. We're on Garrett Coney, then it's Tuvik, Sulu, Valkyris, which is massive, Archer, Wayun, and Peter Preston. Very, very cool. Right, let's unbox this one. While I'm doing so, don't forget you can head over to our partner website, The Cargo Bay, and get these figures for yourself if you're in the UK and get better shipping rates rather than expensive shipping from the US. It is why the site was designed, to make collectors' lives a lot easier, especially if you're a fan of the Star Trek universe. As we know, sometimes getting collectible things from the US is a bit of a pain in the backside. There you go, gently does it, and cool. We are in. Let's unbox this figure and take a look. I'm going to want to do this the other way around so we don't like accidentally sort of drop anything. Being very careful of the box here, not to dent it. Right, let's take this one out. And we've got Garrett in her protected box there. We'll put the box over there and we'll come back to that later. Now, if we take the sort of top section of this off, we should be able to get in and take a look. I want to do this without throwing everything across the floor. I always feel like plastic on these figures sometimes is really good up until you're trying to remove it. Cool, right, okay, let's take the main figure out. So this is Captain Garrett. I'm going to pick up by the hand, maybe, by the thumb. There we go. Excellent. The figure looks really, really nice. It captures the sort of the 21st century Starfleet uniform there, which we saw in the movies really, really well. But I guess actually Garrett isn't 23rd century, is she? It's 24th century. So yeah, that makes more sense because she is from the 2300s. Yeah. So is it technically a 23rd century? I guess it came about in the 23rd century is what I'm trying to say. Before the lore people jump to correct me in there, that's my thinking behind it, but I guess she is 24th century. Still, it is 23rd century uniform and equipment, so in my defense, fight me. No, we can positively debate that in the comment section there. But in my mind, is a 23rd century uniform. Cool. So we've got the main figure here again, just like the Jellico one. She is fully articulate, so you can spin the arms around if you want, like that. Really, really cool. The legs can also bend out. Her legs are a bit more restricted on the sides, mainly due to the way the sort of tunic is coming down below the legs there. So you can't make her do the splits if you're really wanting to do that. But obviously the legs can articulate like that, so you can have her in different sort of poses. If she had a chair, you could probably make her sit in that. I'm not quite sure why, because again, the tunic sort of stops her from sitting like that. So I'm not sure if you could make her sit in a chair if there was one. That's a little bit of an issue if there was an Enterprise C captain's chair. I'll be honest with you, as much as I would love one, I doubt there will be. So yeah, just sort of keep that in mind, I guess. But she stands up there. Oh, does she stand up? Maybe, maybe not. Can't get her to stand up. Come on. Nope, does not. Okay, you gonna stand up now? No? Okay, what if I just bend you forward a little bit? Nope. Apparently Garrett is just dying straight away and does not want to stand. That's weird. No? Okay. The legs definitely articulate like that. Okay, cool. So if we just do that. It's like she's weighted a bit towards her back because she keeps trying to tip over. Okay, we'll solve this when we get to the B-roll shots. Do we twist a leg? Work like that if we twist the legs? There we go. If you twist the leg, she'll stand up. Okay, maybe it's like a different pose you have to have her in to get that to work. A little bit strange, but okay. Some action figures can be a bit like that. Let's take a look at some of the accessories. I'll put it over there to sort of knock over. We've got a pad. Come on. There we go. So on the pad detailing, I'm not sure if you can see if I hold this up to the camera, but basically it looks like a map of a Federation Klingon War. I can't quite... Interestingly, the symbol looks like it's from Discovery. I need to double check that. That's interesting. But you can't really see on the camera. I'll try and zoom in, but where my thumb is at the minute, or my left thumb, so that one there, it almost looks like the symbol is from Star Trek Discovery because it's like the modern Federation one. I'm not quite sure. So I've got it open on my phone at the minute, and you might be able to see this here. The image on the pad and then the map looks strikingly similar to this one, mainly because it's got this symbol in it, which is a Starfleet Command one. Now, I thought this was the modern day symbol, but I don't think it's the one from Next Gen. Okay, either so, it's like a minor sort of thing there. It's just something to point out. But whatever, it works as like a pad, and obviously talks about the war there. It's got the Klingon symbol, it's got the Federation symbol. It's really cool. This can go in Garrett's hand, probably like that. Maybe not. Another hand. There's got to be a hand in here which actually allows her to grip onto the pad, so we'll explore that in a minute. We've also got the other head. This is with that sort of gash of metal going into it, which doesn't look very good. And well, obviously it does look good. I mean, it's not looking very healthy. The mold of their head looks really, really cool. So we probably should be able to take her head off. Let's give this a shot. Again, I'm always careful of doing these things with action figures. There we go. Took a bit more strength than my hands have got. And we can just slop that on, I believe. I'll use it under... I'm not doing it under the desk. I'm basically pushing in using my arm. There we go. Now she's got another head. Definitely looks like she's just been killed. So you can sort of have her sprawled out like that. Like, you know, Garrett's just been shot. Or, not shot, I guess she just had like a part of a bulkhead on her in the Enterprise. So I'll put the normal head back on as it looks better. I'm going to bring it over here and do it. There we go. It takes a little bit of strength to actually pry the head off. But inserting the other one isn't too bad. There you go. It sort of pops together like that. And then she's got a normal head back on. So it's really cool to have the alternative sort of view. Because if you do want to recreate that scene from yesterday's Enterprise, you've got it. In terms of other accessories, we've got the 23rd century phaser. I am going to be calling it the 23rd century phaser, no matter if it's still technically from the 24th century. There we go. This is very much like the one we see in Undiscovered Country, I believe. And when we look at the Sulu figure later, you know, he'll have that as well. I think he has a version like that. There we go. Can we not just put the other phaser in her hand as well? Well, actually, we could use the communicator, couldn't we? Thankfully, Nacelle have put these figures with like a ton of accessories, which is really nice. Like, it's something I really enjoy. We'll put the comm unit down there a sec. Mainly because, like, you can now customize these figures to sort of be doing what you want in the Star Trek universe. So there you go. I've now got Garrett with two phasers. She's got a next-gen era one and a sort of Undiscovered Country era one, or, you know, the motion picture era sort of style, which looks really cool. And also not something I don't think we saw on screen. I don't think we saw Garrett using two phasers or a phaser at all, but really cool. I'm sure there's a hand in here where she could hold the communicator. That's definitely a phaser one there, that hand there. That's a phaser hand. Then there. I don't want to break it all the hands because, yeah, that just seems to be like a Rockstar one. There has to be one in here where she can use the phaser. That's another sort of grabby one. A lot of these are grabby hands. So, yeah, we'll check out the hands a little bit later on. We've got a couple of options here, so you can see in my box. You've got different ones, probably for different phases and such. I don't know which one would be best for, like, holding the communicator or such. I guess we can sort of test it. Like, if I take this one out, I don't think it's going to fit in this. It sort of just, like, falls out. I guess actually... Oh, okay, it fell out. This definitely looks like a weapon style one. You sort of needs logic. I guess that works. There you go. Put it there. So I take this one out there and do that. If we take a hand out a sec. Oh, I've dropped it. Now we put this hand in. There we go. So Garrett now has a communicator. She's hailing over to the Enterprise. We might be able to put this phaser back in this hand here. Okay, it doesn't really fit in that hand, so we probably need more of a closed one. We could probably still put the 24th century phaser in that. There we go. If you can see my camera, she's got a communicator and a phaser. Job done. The accessories of Garrett are actually really cool. I like this one. Yeah, the Garrett figure, really, really nice. The amount of accessories you get over it sort of complements it nice, but there's no big sort of thing there. I would have liked the captain's chair of the Enterprise C, but again, like, there's only so much Nacelle can do. It is still cool. We get accessories like this with each figure, and they're really nice. So yeah, let me know what you think of Garrett down below in the comment section. I really, really like this figure, and the fact you get that sort of death head here is just... It's not needed, but it's really, really cool at the same time. I actually like it. My only complaint with this figure is the articulation in the legs. Like, if there was a captain's chair or something evolved, I'm not sure if you can make her sit in it because you can't articulate the leg up, which would be a bit annoying compared to, like, the Jellico figure. So yeah, that's maybe it's something I'm having an oversight on. You guys are more than welcome to comment down below and let me know. But still, this is Captain Rachel Garrett. I've not called it Edward Garrett so far, or Captain Rachel Jellico, so there we go. Okay, we're back with our next Nacelle Star Trek figure Wave 1 review. This time around, we've got figure 004. It is Captain Sulu from the Undiscovered Country. This one might be my favorite of the line. I'm a big Sulu fan, and yeah, I've been looking forward to this one. It looks amazing. Let's get into the unboxing. Now, as it's Captain Sulu, I always worry I mispronounce Sulu's name. Is it Captain Hikaru Sulu? I want to say that, but I'm not sure, because I always forget. Like, I have to go back and watch an episode when he mentions his name. I always forget. So yeah, again, box art for the Nacelle figures. We've got a lovely image of Sulu there holding his Excelsior teacup, the one that smashes in the undiscovered country. On the back here, we've got Captain Hikaru Sulu. He made his mark some as Captain Kirk's senior helmsman, and in the undiscovered country, he finally commanded his own starship, the Excelsior. After witnessing the destruction of Praxis and watching Kirk and McCoy try the assassination of the Klingon Chancellor, Sulu raced the Excelsior to Khitomer to help save galactic peace. Of course, another image of Sulu here looks fantastic. Let's get into the unboxing. We'll spin this one around. Yeah, this one I've been looking forward to for quite a while, mainly because it's Sulu. And also, I believe we can customize his uniform in this. Don't mind me just cutting through the tape here a sec. There we go. I need to cut through another bit as well. All right, let's get into this figure. We'll flip the box around just so I don't drop everything everywhere. Then I'll back slightly. And again, if you're watching this, please do let me know what figures you're picking up. Don't forget, if you're in the UK, you can get them from the cargo bay if you want fast UK shipping and much more. We'll stick it on over there without whacking the other one on the floor. Cool, we've got a ton of accessories here. We've got a teacup, which is a link to the hand, another hand, communicators. Is that I think that's a tricorder and a communicator. Yeah, we've got a lot of options to choose from for this one. Let's get this figure out of the box. Here on plastic. Behave. Cool, we'll put that over there for a second. I won't lose it. The Sulu figure looks absolutely fantastic. Let's get him out of the box. Just, the uniform alone looks amazing. Like, I really, really like this. The sort of 21st century style uniform looks fantastic. Obviously, we've got Garrett, who's in a similar style uniform, but hers is more of a 24th variant, even though it is still the 23rd century uniform. We'll get into that debate later on. The figure is fantastically detailed. We've got the Starfleet badge there, the communicator badge, or the Starfleet insignia badge, should I say, of the 21st century, particularly the later stage of it. Even the wraparound bit of a tunic here looks really, really nice. I really like this figure. The detail is insane. The paintwork on Sulu's head looks fantastic as well, just switching it around. We've only got one head of this figure, so Sulu is what you see is what you get, which is really nice. However, we can sort of customize his tunic, I believe, and we'll be playing with that in a minute just to see how it works, because I'm not entirely sure how that works. So yeah, we'll have to play with that and see what it does. So, because it's basically this one, isn't it? This is the accessory. If Jack can pick it up. I'm not sure how it links in. It's basically meant to go there, but I don't know how we take it off. Okay, so it looks like we just sort of pry this off like that. I feel like we've got to be careful of this piece up here. So the sort of like rank insignia bit here does bend back, but I feel like it's not meant to bend back too far. So yeah, maybe we've got to be careful of that a little bit. So we should just be able to slot this bit in here. There you go, you press it in, and now you've sort of got this open tunic sort of look, which is actually really cool. I kind of like that. It's a bit of a different variant for Sulu. Which is nice. Obviously, a lot of the characters in the original series picture era, the motion picture movie era, had this sort of style. Like Kirk had his uniform at one point. I think a few other characters did. So yeah, it's really cool. Like, I like it. It's different. So yeah, I'm just gonna put the other uniform back on, as I kind of prefer the default sort of look. There you go. Press it in there, lock it in. There you go. Put your thumb down that bit. So this bit doesn't fully sort of like come down here. Mainly because it's sort of like designed to have that sort of lip out there, which kind of makes sense. In terms of other accessories, we've got a teacup. I definitely want this. I want the teacup. I'm pretty sure there was a brand ages ago that sold replicas of Sulu's teacup, but it may have been quite expensive. I'm not sure who did that. I want to say Factory Entertainment, but it could have been somebody else. Cool. Right now, Sulu has a teacup. There we go. Look at that. Fantastic. So I think if we look on the box, he has the teacup. So if we look at the pose here, he sort of got it like that. And then I think we can, yeah, because we've got the other hand here. So if we take the other hand out, there we go, and we put this one in, we should be able to sort of grip the teacup. We sort of mold the figure into doing this. People spend hours doing this with figures, like, you know, how can you best grip the teacup? Sort of slot in between a finger there. So Jack, what did you do your day? Well, I made my Sulu action figure grip his teacup properly. Look, as somebody who's British, it's important to know how to grip your tea. I'd say that's how you grip a cup of tea in a saucer, so I should know. I am British. We'll put that one back in there a second. There you go. Sulu's got his tea. I really like this. It's really, really cool. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this figure. Like, the detail's really nice. The articulation's there as well. Sulu, I feel like, can probably more sit in a chair than others. I am not a big fan of how you can't bend the legs up fully to, like, give them that pose to sit. Yeah, because I feel like that's going to be a bit limiting if there's other captain's chairs and such. Yeah, I guess you can kind of sit them like that. But yeah, even the trousers has the line down it, which is nice. So like the markings. Yeah, on the back there isn't much detailing, but you've got this sort of like patterning in the belt here, which looks really nice. So yeah, plenty of options to choose from. In terms of other accessories, we've obviously got a tricorder. We've also got a communicator. If I can get it out of the box. There you go. So we've got these two in my hands here. They look really, really nice. I'll put this down there. Now we've also got phasers. One of these is a Wrath of Khan phaser, I believe. This one. I'm not sure which one's which. I actually forget. Do excuse me if I'm forgetting, because I can't remember off the top of my head. We discussed phasers the other day in a video. But in terms of handheld phaser, I'm forgetting. So we've basically got two variants. We've got this one, and then we've got this one. So depending on what one Sulu wants to use, yeah. I always forget which one's which. All right, people in the comments, which one of these is the later version? I want to say it's the black one. It could be this one. I honestly can't remember. I'm really struggling at the minute. In my defense, I'm ill. So we've also got a couple of other hands over here as well. So if we want to take Sulu's hands back out, we can get rid of the teacup. The teacup is actually fixed on here, by the way. I'm not sure you can get it to come off. I wouldn't want to try and get it to come off because it might not work like that. But we can sort of take it out. And let's give it a shot. There we go. So we can put the teacup back in there. We've also got a selection of other hands. I pick this one up. Put that one in. There we go. Excuse me, whacking my mic. And then we can slot a phaser in here. I think we can put a phaser in there. It doesn't quite fit into his hand. We'll try this phaser. There you go. That fits a bit better. This phaser fits a bit better. There you go. You got Sulu with a phaser now. Imagine when you just beam down in the undiscovered country to arrest the Klingon conspirators and the Federation conspirators and arresting there. That's basically what you've got. Looks really cool. Sulu figure, fantastic. Well done yourself for this one. Really, really enjoyed this. This is definitely going to be going on one of my shelves behind me here. I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe I have to move some ships around and we can sort of fit that in. But he looks really, really nice. Definitely this one is on my top list. I think when I think about the Nacelle figures so far, Sulu, Jellico, Garrett, those are my top three. Yeah. I really like it. You know, you've got a good amount of accessories. You've got different hands. Personally, I can't see myself using that many different hands, but you've got them if you want them. I think that's the important thing. If you want Sulu wielding two phasers, you've got the hands for it. If you want Sulu just holding his teacup, you've got that as well. Realistically, it is up to you how you customize this figure and what you do. And I think that's really important. So that's our part 1 review for the Nacelle Company's Star Trek Wave 1 action figure line. The captains, being Sulu, Jellico and Garrett, are fantastic, but what about the remaining 5 figures? Look out for part 2 of our review coming very soon. In the meantime, do let me know what you think of these action figures down below in the comment section. Will you be picking any of these up? If so, don't forget, you can check out our partner website for Cargo Bay if you're in the UK and EU. But if you're in the USA, head over to the Nacelle website directly. For now, I've been Captain Jack here on the Trek Central YouTube channel. For more Star Trek content, such as the latest news, lore, and more, hit that follow and subscribe button to never miss a video.